Hello everybody, welcome back. It's been a whole 2 minutes since we last saw you. It's me, JB Hyperion, back with Sartan for the grand final of the Oscatch World Cup 2020. We got China versus South Korea coming up for you. It's going to be an absolute banger, don't you think, Sartan?
And what a banger it will be indeed. China, South Korea. You can see both teams on your screen. Look at these names. Look at these countries. I'm so very much looking forward to this stuff. It's going to be an absolute banger. And yeah, after a whole 2-minute wait, we're going to be able to feast our eyes upon this incredible match. Really looking forward to this stuff. We already made our predictions in the recap round a few minutes ago. And yeah, we're going to see if South Korea is going to be able to take a bracket reset and force China to second place, or whether China will run away with it this year. Let's see it go down. We're going to get started with the warm-ups real soon. This is one of Eno's maps.
Yeah, for both teams, this is really about chasing history. China, 3-time World Cup winners in 2012, 2016, and 2018. South Korea, 4-time champs, 14, 15, 17, and last year. So China have always been kind of one behind South Korea, their nearby neighbors, chasing after them, making sure they can keep up. South Korea always trying to chase their own legacy. But to date, I don't think China have beaten South Korea in a World Cup final. South Korea have beaten China 2 times in the World Cup final, I believe. China have won their two most recent World Cups against Indonesia and Chile. So it's going to be interesting to see how China can do here. Can they break the curse? Can they finally beat South Korea in a grand final?
Thanks for history class there.
You know, that's my job, man. I'm the stats man. I gotta love them.
With the sunglasses and everything, the stats man.
Oh, I do need sunglasses, actually. The sun has really come out here now. It's like an hour ago, it was 6 a.m. here, and there was nothing going on. It was very dark, and now the sun has made an appearance, shining on this most glorious of fruit-catching days.
The rising sun. Announcing this match. So, chat, we actually haven't really talked to you yet, have we? So, I do wonder, who do you think is going to take this match, people? Who do you think is stronger in this matchup? South Korea coming from the losers bracket, or China coming from the winners bracket on a grand finals map pool? What do you guys think?
Yeah, we covered this a little bit in the recap. The history of these teams, at least in this tournament, has both been one of like sheer domination until they ran into each other, and then they had effectively a dead heat match in the end. South Korea have lost only 14 games this tournament out of the probably close to 90 that they have won, and 7 of those losses came to China in the winners bracket final. China have only lost 10 games in the whole tournament, and 6 of those came in their victory over South Korea. So both teams owe half of their losses or more to the other. Apart from each other, they have had almost no competition this entire tournament.
Yeah, in that sense, South Korea had a little bit of a bumpier road with a few almost roadblocks like Chile in the round of 16, getting them down 4 points. But honestly speaking, a lot of that is due to it being round of 16. A lot of it is due to it, you know, Chile being relatively strong compared to South Korea on map pools like that. In other stages of the tournament, later stages, that would probably not have happened.
Here we go, coming to the end of, I think, warm-up number 1, though. Katobi KQ Rider.
Yep.
South Korea have dropped all 3 of their players immediately. I don't know if they're swapping in some new people for their own warm-up or what the deal is there. Rockma briefly appearing on Team China, but he's now on Team Blue where he belongs.
South Korea he belongs. One of the old school players in South Korea. Been at this stage many, many times. Getting into the second warm-up, Looney Code. A map by Rockma himself.
Yeah, so this is likely going to be South Korea's warm-up popping up.
I do have a feeling, yeah.
See if I can do a little bit of research on this one whilst we wait.
That is fine. I see a lot of South Korea supporters here today. Interestingly enough, as the casters, including us two, all predicted China to take this one today. But then again, it's a hard prediction to make, right? We all know that by now. It's incredibly difficult and really will come down to how these people are feeling today. Whether the South Korean players got themselves some eye drops or so, inspired by Hyper W, which did the similar thing in the NXS Grand Final and then suddenly outperformed everybody in the lobby. Whether China's feeling good, I really do wonder what is going to happen today.
I think all we can really predict from this match is that it's going to be amazing. I have no idea who's going to win. I just think it's going to be very close, very hard fought, and we're going to see some real drama. And I can't wait.
It's going to be brutal.
Yeah, just think about both of these teams, these kind of 12 players, sitting down at their keyboards now, knowing that they may not get up for another 4 hours if we go to like the full distance of bracket reset and then another tiebreaker. Like, some of these guys are easily the greatest fruit catchers that the game has ever seen, but can they perform at a world grand finals level map pool for that long? Stamina is going to come into a play the longer the match goes on.
That is correct. They have been in a similar spot a few times, some players at least. But it's gonna. I wonder how much they're gonna wear as time goes on this match. I really do wonder if there's gonna be a definite drop off in playing quality from these people. Whether they're gonna be fine. It might just go the entire distance. Yeah, it might just become a 4-hour game. That stuff has happened in the past with similar players, and they're both looking at getting the win here. So obviously, so it might just happen once again. And prediction-wise, we all predict something like that is pretty likely to happen. We'll see in the first few maps. That's going to be interesting to judge whether they, whether South Korea is going to be outperforming, whether their strategy that you proposed they used on the USA actually worked out and actually is a real thing, where they explicitly underperformed yesterday to throw off China on their game today. Maybe they'll pull some godlike performances, we don't know. But we haven't seen China at all on this map pool yet, so that is going to be something new for us to spectate as well.
Yeah, that's crucial that China have a slight advantage in the map pool, knowing that they have seen how South Korea perform on 9 of the maps. So just over half the map pool from their losers bracket final match yesterday against South Korea, which they won 7-2. So South Korea have given away a little bit of information to Team China on maybe what their potential strengths and weaknesses are. Or have they? Have South Korea maybe kind of not put in their optimum roster, not picked the same things that they would normally pick against China, in order to maybe misdirect them slightly and give themselves an edge? And speaking about potentially being at the keyboard for 4 hours, Kalionet has decided to delay the inevitable as long as possible, give their keyboard a little bit of a break, and start off with Relax, which is obviously mouse controlled. Very jittery, I hope he's okay.
That's just nerves, he's fine.
That's a lot of nerves.
Yeah, I wonder how nervous these players actually are. It's not a situation they haven't been in before, this, and I mean, I just expect them both to really perform well, not really being too hindered by their nerves, as I mentioned, and Oh, this is going to be such a good game. But that's all I can really say about it. That's all we can really conclude. It's probably just going to be an amazing game.
I think
That was the
against
second one.
any other team, both of these teams would feel fairly confident and comfortable that they could come out on top. But South Korea and China in Catch World Cup history have been each other's greatest foils and rivals. So just the fact that you're playing against them, it doesn't matter what the stakes are, what the difficulty of the map pool is, like how important the match is. I think there is an element of nerves just from knowing that you're playing against your rival.
That could be true. Here we go with the rolls. So Motion is going to roll 17, not the best of rolls.
He's not had the stellar roll ability so far this tournament, but maybe that's going to be enough.
There's still 60 points below that.
An 8 roll for China. We'll see what Captain Dusk throws out. He throws out 7.
Right,
Dusk is someone who's had even worse history with rolls, and that is going to help South Korea here. So South Korea winning the roll. Not good news for China. They will have to ban first as losers of the roll.
Yeah, R18 is not too far off with his prediction there. So China's going to have to ban first, and South Korea's going to ban second, and then pick first. What do you think these teams will go for?
I don't know about China, because obviously we've not seen anything about them, but South Korea, before yesterday, I would have been certain that South Korea would ban double time, because it's been China's staple pick. They always first, second, third, whatever, pick double time. We see China coming out with the Hidden 1 ban, which South Korea performed very well on yesterday. However, South Korea struggled a lot with Banderia Travelers Hidden 3 in their match against US yesterday, so I would not be surprised to see that banned either.
Rockma is seemingly very happy that they banned Hidden 1. Very big thank you there, as you can see. So maybe not really feeling too confident on that map after all. I'm guessing South Korea might just go for a Hidden ban themselves then.
Yeah, we did
They're
see...
just going to ban Hidden 1 once again.
Yeah, they want to also ban Hidden 1. I'm not sure that we're allowed to do that, but... Now, Motion performed pretty well on Hidden 1 yesterday, Little Princess, but Spectator and Rockmo were a little bit behind, and we do see the Hidden 3 ban coming out, an adaptive ban from South Korea. They just did not want anything to do with approach rate 7, circle size 6 Hidden yesterday. Lexi and Zach looked really strong on that and made South Korea pay. So they're just deciding they don't want anything to do with that one. So double Hidden ban taken off the table as South Korea going to be opening up with Embraced by the Flame Hard Rock 1.
What a fiery song to get started with. So 4 minutes long Hard Rock. It's a fairly meta-ish map, this from the Leto. Lots of streams. It's a really fast map. Ridiculously hard. Basically boils down to exactly that. But these two teams both have incredible Hard Rock players, and I expect very little misses from either team here. I do wonder what kind of setup China's going to go for with Hard Rock. I see Nagi in the lobby, which is quite interesting. Nagi really pulling off some crazy plays as of recent, really stepping up to his game and showing what he's made of, because this man has been a top 10 player for the longest time. People seem to forget that by now. He's been at 3 digits for a little while, not too long ago, but he could go right back to top 20, top 15 if he still wanted to, I think. And all these other players are all like top 20, so there you go.
This is a worrying pick for me from South Korea, though, as first up, because yes, they performed super well on this yesterday. Motion 2 missed with 2,500 out of, I think, the 2,900 max combo. Spectator got 1,800 combo. QWHJ got 1,200. So between the whole team, they only got 18 misses compared to, I think, the maybe close to 100 misses that came out of Team US. So whilst on paper, based on the match yesterday, it's a very strong pick for South Korea. This, to me, is a map that feels very, very much like Millefolium, the tiebreaker from the semi-final, where Crystal and Dusk both FC'd, and Crystal got a double S. This is a map that is very, very good for China.
I have a feeling, though, that they're going to try and ride on the thought that Nagi might not perform this well, but so far there's been misses mostly for China indeed. Crystal and Nagi missing. Crystal with a later miss. Spectator did struggle a little bit as well though, but is getting carried by QWH in motion now still with the full combo. Dusk also coming in with 400 plus combo. It is an interesting pick indeed, I do believe that as well. And they might be actually underrating Nagi a little bit here. He's gonna miss again though, together with Spectator. The score is still very closely matched here. Only 10,000 score difference, and the combos are very similar too.
Yeah, this is a very long song, just over 4 minutes, so early misses aren't going to make too much of a difference. We're only 1/4 of the way through the map now. Nagi and Spectator both about to hit that 200 combo mark. They do so now. The score difference is probably only about 10, maybe 15,000 at this point. QWHJ still holding on to that FC. Motion with a double S as well. Dusk also with the full combo. Everyone now above 200 combo, so we're going to see very little difference in score until we see another miss as we come to the 1/3 distance.
They're performing incredibly well. Nagi's going to drop together with Crystal out, and South Korea is now going to take up a lot of the advantage here. They're now going to be leading the score with quite a lot, as you can see. The bar is working its way towards the right. It's going to slow down a little bit due to Spectator's miss, but it's not the end of the world yet for China, actually. There's still so much map left, and honestly speaking, the score difference isn't even quite that big yet, as Crystal and Nagi both already have moved back into 200 combo.
Yeah, Nagi actually tanked a huge number of misses there, dropping down to A rank. He's taken another few misses there that's going to allow South Korea to extend their advantage, and Dusk drops as well. No full combos remaining on the side of Team China. Still 2 on the side of Korea from QWHJ, and Motion still holding on to that double S as Spectator comes above 200 combo. Nagi about to do the same.
QWHJ coming in with a miss himself. But then again, South Korea slowly building up this lead by now. They're just having a few lesser misses than China thus far, and it's showing in the bar, as you can see. Combo advantage down the ends of China, only barely though, so... And the double miss here once again from Nagi and Spectator, that's going to level out. Still nothing set in stone. There's still much to be played, and Spectator having a huge drop there, allowing for China to probably grab a few points. Motion does the same as Spectator drops again, and the scoreline is seemingly going towards China, but then again Crystal Nagi dropped at the most unfortunate of times.
Yeah, Dusk versus QWHJ now. We thought that China had a perfect opportunity to take the lead back there. They did eliminate some of the score difference. As Spectator drops again, that score difference is going to come down even further, but the double miss on both sides. QWHJ drops, it's only Dusk remaining,
and again
Crystal from
Nagi.
China.
Quite literally missing out by a hair once again, and nothing is yet decided. There's still a little bit of the map left, and Dusk missing is probably going to provide a lot of leeway here for South Korea, as Nagi and Crystal both still don't really have high combos either. And now it's starting to look like South Korea can really capitalize. I don't see any misses from Motion and Spectator. QWH is going to have a fail. Nagi had a miss over there as well. So much happening, and that was really dangerous for a bit, but it seems like China is finally starting to fall apart. Finally is starting to see some kinks in their armor.
QWHJ was very unfortunate to fail there, but it looks like he has recovered nicely. Dusk tanked a huge number of drops there towards the end, maybe the pressure starting to get to him. He was on, I think, only about maybe 1 or 2 misses towards like the 2/3 mark, and then you can see there's a bunch of really sharp spikes there. Spectator had a few hairy misses towards the beginning and also the end as well, but it is going to be a point in the end for South Korea. And I think it was a really good point that you're saying that like teams are falling apart. We're 1 game in to the grand final, a best of 13, potentially 12 more matches to play. Teams really should not be falling apart at this stage, but the nerves must be so intense. Motion, the only player to score under 10 misses.
And Motion is the literal #1 player in the world as we speak. That was incredible though. So much happening on that first map, and China almost had that one.
Yeah, South Korea performing slightly less well than in their match yesterday against the US, where you think maybe there was a lot less pressure on them and they expected to win more comfortably. But they do come out on top on this one. They do manage to secure that first comfortable point, that point on the board, and China will be picking next. I'm pretty convinced that double time would be their go-to comfort pick in any normal encounter. But when a team has Rockma, Motion on its side, two amazing double time players. Is double time so free, so comfortable for them anymore?
We don't know, actually. They're gonna go for a normal pick instead. They're gonna go for humanly.
And this was actually banned yesterday in South Korea's match against the USA. So this will be the first time that either team will have seen this one. I guess China are just saying that it was banned by, I think it was banned by the US. So China are just maybe banking on the fact that they've practiced this well and they don't believe that it is as comfortable a pick for South Korea. They must be feeling comfortable on this one.
Yeah, they must be. It's also tactical because they know South Korea has not had the opportunity to prepare for this one. And they're going to use that momentum. South Korea does have the momentum of the match so far. They had a very long first pick and they won it. So that really favors them coming into this. Here we go with the second map of the match. Humanly, a convert pick. Quite high AR, as you can see, at 10, maxed out. Quite the interesting convert here. Early miss here for Crystal. Again, a fairly long map.
Yeah, this is looking like it is a bit more of a targeted pick from China. I discovered that this was actually South Korea's ban in the match in the losers bracket final against the US. So clearly China feeling that they just can capitalize on maybe something that South Korea do not want to pick. But we're talking about the misdirection, the potential misguiding earlier. Maybe South Korea just banned this to try and make China think they didn't want to play it, and actually they're totally up to the task. South Korea going to be taking the early advantage due to that very early miss from Crystal, but he's now back above 200 combo, so the score difference is going to stabilize.
Yeah, not a lot happening so far. Here comes the first chorus. Potential for misses here, obviously. Some crazy jumps, as you can see, but very solid performance this far from everybody. There's another miss there for China, however. Dust is going to tank one. South Korea and Nagi also tanking one, meaning that South Korea is going to have a fairly comfortable leading position now. Spectators going to slow down that progress, however. But they're going to be able to see that both Nagi and Dust have dropped, and they are now in the leading spot so far with 50,000 score ahead of China.
Yeah, South Korea perfectly placed here with QWHJ and Motion still holding on to that double S. Crystal with the great combo just shy of FC for Team China, but Nagi and Dusk have a lot of work to do to catch back up. That score difference is still growing, despite Spectator having this slight combo disadvantage.
Yeah, that's going to stop now, however. But never mind me, Nagi's going to find another one of those misses right as he went up to 200 combo, and South Korea is now also leading in combo.
Yeah, really bad luck. QWHJ going to find a drop on South Korea, losing that FC, but that was a really bad place for Nagi to miss just as he was hitting 200 combo and starting to stabilize the score. Once again, China will know they have this combo advantage. Their score difference has grown, and they know that Motion is still holding on to that double S.
2/3 into the map, and they are struggling here, but they are not out of the game yet. And another miss for QWH is actually going to give the momentum back to China. They might actually be able to take back the lead.
Yeah, still 1/4 of the map to play. I think that miss on its own is not going to give China the lead, but if nerves are starting to creep in...
They could maybe be peeking at the scores right now with those notes over here. Quickly clicking tab. Dangerous thing to do, but I know a lot of people tend to do that. Another miss for South Korea. Rumina leading position for China, but so many misses happening on there. And with Dusk and Crystal both missing, he's going to stop that progress once again. Motion not FCing the map, seemingly back to the 0 combo mark for him. But South Korea is still looking very comfortable here over here, right before the end of the map. Despite their ban of this map yesterday against the USA, Crystal's going to take another hit here. And there's no way for China to take this anymore, I do believe, unless one of these South Koreans would fail. Motion is going to miss, but it doesn't really matter too much. A few of the combos are going to drop for South Korea, a few for China as well. And here is a break point from South Korea as we get into the third pick of the match soon. That is great, though, on a ban. Or at least yesterday's ban. Today's point.
Really, really good kind of bait and switch from South Korea, though. Tactically banning something that they were fairly confident on in the hopes that China would pick it, and they fall into the trap. China with a team miss right at the end there, but Otherwise, really solid performance from South Korea. China definitely not performing badly on that one at all. Crystal with the 1000 combo performing especially well, but also Dusk with the only 3 misses. But South Korea with the tactical advantage, giving them the breakpoint and the 2-0 lead.
Again, the difference in misses is very low between the two teams. South Korea having a few lesser misses, but honestly speaking, China did incredibly well over there as well. That map is harder than you guys might expect. A lot of very nasty passes, and this is a pick I did expect from South Korea. Blessings though. Double time is coming out. This is their forte. This is China's forte. This is going to be such a crazy match.
It really speaks to how well matched these two teams are. South Korea are probably the only team in the whole world that can pick double time into China and feel comfortable that they have a chance at winning. Double time is China's bread and butter. It is first picked in almost every match in a tournament China will play. But South Korea, starting out with the advantage, looking to make an authoritative statement saying like, double time's your mod? No, double time is our mod. Motion actually FC'd this yesterday with the full 867 combo and good 99.4 accuracy as well. QWHJ and Spectator slightly behind, but it is going to be Rockma appearing in Spectator's place for this one. Much more like what I would expect. He is an outstanding double time player as well.
First time in a while I'm seeing Calionet on a AR 10.5 map here. He's going to be the first to miss for both of these teams, but incredibly, speaking of the other players, everybody's still holding on to combo 2 in. This is such an incredibly rapid map, as you guys can see. No misses yet for any other player. Calionet is struggling a little bit, but now QWH is going to give a little bit of leeway to China. It's not going to be enough for them to take the lead back, but they're still in the game.
Yeah, Calionet almost at the perfect place to capitalize on that. He's just hitting 200 combo now. Halfway through the map, not too much length in this one, only 1.5 minutes. We are really waiting for another miss here to decide if China can come back into this one again.
How are all these players holding on to combo? Incredible. The Motion and QWH are going to miss China now being able to take the lead. Crystal and Dusk with the incredible 600 combo, and Rockma is doing what we expect him to do as well. It's only a slight lead, however. Calionet is struggling still. The combo advantage in the hands of China, but only barely. And
any miss here will decide the map.
There might still be an opportunity for China to not win as Crystal misses right at the end of the map. South Korea now with the score advantage again, and Calionet is going to finish that off. Oh my goodness. Oh, South Korea only taking that in the last 15 seconds or so of the map. Crystal with a singular miss, a perfect score for both Rockma and Dusk. And China heartbreakingly losing that one, giving South Korea a 3-0 advantage right out of the gates. Incredible, though. What happened?
That is absolute tragedy for Crystal. He was performing so unbelievably well. China had a slender but comfortable advantage. And Dusk, 99.5% accuracy on AR 10.5. This man is insane. He does not deserve to be on the losing team there. That's such bad luck for China, but absolute ecstasy for South Korea to go 3-0 up.
That was not a humongous score difference by any stretch of the imagination, but that was an incredible comeback right at the end of the map. Those parts tend to be the hardest indeed, right before the end of the map, where the map kind of slows down. Some people tend to underestimate the difficulty in that. And sadly, both Crystal and Calionet not being able to keep up there. Crystal only missing 66 combo before the end of the map. But yeah, just quite the performance that we expected from everybody, honestly speaking. Calionet did not underperform on that map either. It is just the sheer difficulty of the map that made him miss 14 times. He even had a high combo, a 410 combo. But the other players are just doing something else.
It really speaks volumes to like the skill of all players involved when Calionet's kind of 400 combo, I think he was about a 13 miss, is considered a bad play on approach rate 10.5. Like, that was an amazing play and would beat pretty much any other team, any other individual player outside of these two countries in the world. But when you're comparing it to giants like Rockma and Dusk and Motion, it's just like, oh, it's just an average play. A poor guy.
It's a bit of a PP map. You could almost call it for these players. Incredible, right? They're gonna go into another no mod here. Kitsune no Yomeri. This is a pretty old map by now. Map by Minky. That is an old name, isn't it? I used their skin for a while, and it's just basically left-righting to the ends of the earth. Something that I know Dusk and I would expect a Crystal actually to play this, but seemingly he's not joining the lobby quite yet. Kalyanet and Nagi slotting in for China. We have Spectator, Rockma, and Motion there for South Korea. All incredible players on this kind of a map. Crystal is, however, going to join after all. Maybe Kalyanet will be swapped up for Nagi. Something like that could also happen. I think that would actually make sense too. Especially considering the age that Nagi has, the experience that he has. And Nagi is one of the few players that could play this map back in the day when it was first released. Now it's appearing in the Grand Finals map pool. It's going to be Kalyanet after all. Motion, Spectator, Rockman for South Korea. We move into the fourth map of the match. Or at least we hope to do so.
Yeah, this is another tactical, kind of targeted pick from China. This is one of the 2 points that South Korea lost against Team USA earlier. And none of the players from South Korea, at least in that match, seemed to really enjoy this one. Holding on to a combo and keeping it for any length of time on this map is difficult, but if you can manage it, it gives your team such a huge advantage. This map is so unlike anything that would be seen in a modern meta today.
Exactly. It's still a cat specific, but it really does not feel like that at all. There's 2 misses on the end of South Korea so far. Dusk missed for China, and Crystal's gonna follow that up. Dusk is gonna do it against South Korea, back in the lead.
South Korea looking much stronger now with all 3 of their players above that 200 combo mark. Kalyanet going to drop as well. No one on Team China holding on to a strong combo now, and South Korea can show what kind of advantage they have as we come to 1/3 distance.
Exactly. China is really playing by the book here. Rockman's going to miss again. So the combo advantage now very, very slightly in the hands of China, but nothing that South Korea needs to worry about. But now they need to worry as Spectator and Motion both missed at the same time. Crystal and Kalyanet still impressively holding on to combos. And this is the opportunity they need to grab that lead, which they might be able to do.
Yeah, now it's China's turn to say, haha, we inflicted a triple miss on South Korea. We are making the comeback. Dusk was an unfortunate casualty in that combo as well. But the 2 full combos, not full combos, 2 200 combos still being held onto by China. Motion and Spectator are at 200 combo now. The score difference is so narrowly in favor of South Korea. One miss will sway this.
We have this situation once more where the single miss will determine everything here. Only 8,000 points of difference, even less than that, honestly speaking. This is gonna come down to the wire once again. And impressively, everybody's holding on to their combos. They're doing it with their life is on the line. But Spectator's gonna miss. China back in the leading position now, right before the end of the map. It is still not over, however, but China now knows that they are leading. That might actually be nerve-wracking for them, because they know they need to hold on to what they have right now. Otherwise, they might still lose it. But it's looking very good. It's looking very good for China. And this seems to be their first point. Dusk missing right at the end, but a double miss for Spectator. Rockman's going to seal the deal as China is back in the game.
So that's an amazing kind of improvement on yesterday's performance from South Korea. Their highest combo yesterday was Rockma's 328. And this time, all of their players get pretty much double that. Spectator getting double the combo that he achieved yesterday. But 800 combo from Crystal on this map. A 1 miss from Kalyanet. This is insane play from China, and it is exactly what they needed to try and settle some of those nerves and make themselves think, look, we are actually still able to get back into this. We need to just reset and continue from here.
That is chilling. A single miss from Kalyanet. Incredible. South Korea, however, indeed also pretty much showing up very strongly on that map too, compared to yesterday, definitely. And I mean, it is still a world-class performance they just showed up with here. China being a tad bit stronger. Now China ran out of picks that South Korea lost on to... no, actually, they didn't quite yet run out. They got the banned pick first. Then they went to one of the picks that South Korea lost to. I'm thinking they might just do that again for the next pick. Pick the last map South Korea lost on against the USA.
Well, the two maps that they lost were Kitsune no Yomeri, which was just played, and Bandiria Travelers, which was banned. South Korea banned that. So China have no more picks that South Korea lost to
my apologies.
In that way. So China from now on are going to have to go on what they know, either what South Korea may have won, but they didn't win that convincingly, or what they just feel like, in practice, we're good at this, so we're going to pick it. And South Korea are going to pick Double Time again. Purple Passion coming up now, Double Time 3, a map that I don't think that we have seen yet.
I'm so happy to have the analytical man over here correcting
That's
my
job,
mistakes
man.
as we go.
I'm not correcting your mistakes. I'm just covering for that side. Together, we are ultimate duoing right now.
We are the Purple Passion.
Ooh.
A little jazzy. A little funky, this. It's a very nice song. Sadly, we're not going to hear it as it is, but with Double Time, so it's going to get a little bit more hyper than that. It's a combat pick by South Korea once again. Interestingly enough, I actually did not expect them to go for another Double Time pick after that very close call on the first Double Time pick this game. They are going to try it again. This seems to be a map that China should be a bit stronger on than Korea, personally speaking, I think at least, because as far as I know, the combat side of Double Time is covered more strongly by China, and the specific side is more strong by South Korea, but they're going to go ahead and do it anyway. I mean, those differences are so slight anyway, but yeah, it's just very hard to make correct picks against a team like China, who is pretty much a double ganger of your own team in terms of skill.
Maybe I'm reading too far into the future and I'm trying to see things that aren't really there. But I think if South Korea are picking Double Time because they know that China are going to pick it anyway, and South Korea are going to say, okay, well, we've picked all the Double Time, and like, what are you going to pick? We picked your comfortable picks. What are you going to pick now? Are they saying that if they can win on China's favorite picks and things they would pick themselves, is this trying to really demoralize China and make them feel like they have no other kind of option, no safe avenue to go for? This could be really bold.
Guts. But so far, it's not looking like it's working out too well, as most of the misses are coming from South Korea. Dust still with the impressive double S, and the score difference over here for the first time entering a 100k plus difference. QWH really struggling, missing every so often. China is building up the combo again, as they have a bit of a combo advantage. Kalyanet is going to ruin that, however, but they still have Dusk.
Yeah, so just as soon as I said this is a great tactic from South Korea to beat China at their own game, China have pulled out a massive lead with the 3 early misses. We do see a miss there from Dusk, but Crystal is still holding on to an impressive 450 combo. Rockma has caught up nicely as well as we come to the halfway point at 400 himself. But we're going to see 3 200 combos to 2 QWHJ, just a little bit behind. So that score difference is going to grow to just over 100,000 as we come to 1/3 of the map remaining.
It's very mesmerizing to see these players catch everything in that chorus. Rockma's going to miss again. China is going to build upon their lead just a little bit. Crystal with an impressive 700 plus combo over here. But it's just incredible to see so little misses from any team on this map. QWH is going to overshoot just a little bit, so is Crystal. And now we have 2 misses on both teams. Not anymore. Dusk also missing Motion, the only one left with a combo, but it's not enough for South Korea to come back just quite yet. There's going to be more misses required from the team of China. The miss from Motion and Crystal is going to level out the score again. And so far, this is looking like a very good map for China. Not the best of picks by South Korea, perhaps. Rockma missing again, so does Kalyanet. Everything gets traded very nicely, very cleanly over here, so does Dusk and QWH. Only Motion now, however, with a combo left. But that's gonna end the map on that note with a 87,000 score difference. This time around, China actually being ahead with about 2 to 3 misses, I do believe. And not the best pick here for South Korea. China is getting back into the game.
Yeah, this is worrying for South Korea. China being allowed to get back into the game, build some momentum. Very good map for them. There is a reason why nobody picks and people ban double time against China, and that is exactly why. Unfortunately, South Korea didn't necessarily perform badly on that map, but they allowed China to get an early lead, and then in the second half of the map, each miss was kind of traded by a member of the other team. So that score difference was very similar, and China could just keep South Korea at arm's distance throughout. So that is going to be a second point for China, 2-3, a break point, and China have an opportunity to level the score here with their next pick to take things to 3-all. Do China go for the final double time here and pick Tonari Ao? Or
That would not be a bad
do
idea.
they select something else?
I mean, it's a different mechanic to Nari out, but they might be high riding on the double time momentum right now. I do believe it is not the most wise of picks. I still do believe, and I stand by my point, that South Korea is probably a bit stronger on specifics coming double time. But what else shall they pick then? Is Nomad the way to go right now? Maybe Hidden?
South Korea played 3 of the 4 available remaining Nomad maps in their match against the US yesterday. Only one they didn't play is Izana, which was banned. Panopticon was left unpicked from the hidden pool, so they have no information on that. And Last of World Music was picked and won by the South Koreans as well. So anything left is either no mod or they don't really have any information about it. And China are being hurried up to select a pick here by the ref, so hopefully they don't run out of time.
I think they have a hard time deciding on what to do as well at the moment. It mainly comes down to that. See? Really hard. They're gonna go for Hidden.
So
riding
a
with the
new
tournament.
challenger appears, a map that we haven't seen played in the match yesterday in this Grand Finals map pool.
Only Hidden map that can be picked in this game, as the other 2 picks have both been banned. But it seems this is interesting. I do indeed believe that this is a fairly rational pick from China. I do know that they have very strong hidden players, but most important of all, they have very consistent hidden players. South Korea, a little less so. Rockma tends to be a little volatile when it comes to these kind of maps. Still very good, but coming out of Hard Rock and Double Time and such, this might be a pretty hard swap. Dusk actually leaving the lobby. For the first time, he might not be playing a map. Is there any map that Dusk actually hasn't played for their team, I wonder?
I mean, we could go back through the stats, but I'm a little bit too invested in this match right here to do that for the 7 or so matches that they've played thus far. But I think you raised an excellent point. It's going to be very interesting to see how the teams adapt from what was approach rate 10.3 on double time to now approach rate 8.4 hidden. That is a huge difference, and it's going to be interesting to see, although these players could in isolation all perform pretty well on this, how easily the kind of change in speed comes to them and how their reading adapts to the much, much lower approach rate. And in addition to the lower approach rate, this is a really, really kind of technical, high slider velocity, very snappy pick that we've come to expect from Sinnoh's mapping style in recent years. So the reading is hard enough even without hidden being added, and obviously the lower approach rate just adds a whole new dimension of difficulty.
Exactly, and we have 2 players in each team that just came from a double time pick. Nagi and Spectator are going to be fresh. Might be the best performers in this match, we don't know. Double miss here for Nagi and Crystal right out of the gates. South Korea with an early lead, although Rockma is also going to miss.
We see another miss there from Nagi and Spectator taking a miss trade as Dusk drops as well. No major combos remaining on the side of Team China. Motion has a 250 combo, pretty great from him. Dusk just going to see another drop. Crystal is there to take up the slack though, but he misses too at 200 combo. But we see a double miss from South Korea. They're not going to extend their advantage too much more.
But Dusk is also going to miss with his almost 200 combo. What I'm most impressed by right now is Motion's still full combo. This is incredibly hard to read this map. Some of those streams are very nasty. And he just came from an AR 10.3 map, so that just adds to the difficulty. Right now, South Korea in a very comfortable position as Dusk is not really coming up with any high combos himself. Struggling a little bit here, even on these comparatively easier jumps. And miss-snapping over there as well. More misses here for Crystal and Spectator.
Dusk is really starting to struggle here, actually, dropping below 97% accuracy. And yeah, you're right, we do see the miss there from Motion, but he has done huge work in building such a massive advantage for his team. No one is really able to build any kind of combo here, so I don't see China coming back into this one unless we see a fail. There's just no combos anywhere on the board right now as we come into the closing stages. This is so difficult.
Yeah, no combos over 100. Everybody missing on these incredibly difficult snaps. Nagi again missing here. Dusk also struggling. Nobody properly catching those streams either. But it seems like South Korea built up a well enough lead in the early stage of this map, which will then translate to them taking this one. A breakpoint here. Seemingly still better at hitting than China after all. Pretty low scores throughout the lobby, but Dusk really had some issues there towards the end. Not too well adapting there. Motion with an incredible score out of it. 7 misses only, nearing 900,000 points.
Yeah, Motion easily the difference maker between the two teams in that one. Scoring, I think, just over 100,000 more than anyone. Crystal, I think, was just under 100,000 points below his score. And yeah, Dusk uncharacteristically struggled on that one, the 96.7% accuracy. Hopefully that's just a one-off and it's not indicative of him having any more significant problems like connection issues or the like. But yeah, another breakpoint for South Korea, so they managed to keep that gap at 2 points as they come into their next pick.
Correct, yeah. We are mostly used to seeing Dusk actually being able to adapt really well from double time to hidden back to double time, those kind of things. Now, for the first time, he's not really dropping the most godlike performance ever. He's still just a guy after all, so that is one thing to consider. He will still be nervous regardless of his incredible expertise. China is still in the game. South Korea is going to be next to pick, but South Korea knows that China can very easily take break points if they aren't
Just a smidge over approach rate 10, and we're going to be just under 3 minutes in length.
correct indeed. Fairly long map. QWH is missing. Oh, it's actually running back to China quite rapidly, as you can see.
Yeah, Kalyanet.
Especially since everybody else just got passed, and Kalyanet is just going to continue playing the map instead. Hopefully
we get everyone synced up a little bit, but until now, please enjoy Kalyanet soloing this map. There we go. He's going to have to wait just a little bit whilst we get everyone catched up. This is mechanically probably the most difficult double time pick, and you can tell there's almost no movements where you're standing still at any point in this difficulty.
Exactly. The score difference is very minor by now.
Crystal and Motion managing to hit 1,000 combo here as we're coming into the final third. Kalyanet going to see a drop. South Korea going to extend their advantage slightly, but QWHJ is going to miss another couple of times there on those doubles.
Yeah, that actually gives an advantage back to China, perhaps, due to QWH missing a few notes, whereas Kalyanet only missed a single note as far as I could see. He's performing a little bit subpar compared to his teammates right now, but he's still performing really well. And again, the scoreline is so incredibly close coming into the final part of the map. Any miss will give it to the other team now.
Crystal and Motion still going 1,400 combo now. Dusk is going to drop.
QWH is going to trade that out. Again, a few misses on his head, he's going to drop again. Crystal's going to follow it up. South Korea back in the leading position, but Rockman's going to ruin that. So much happening, but Motion still holding on to 1,500 combo. He's going to be able to carry it for his team as the TNT of China just dropped all back at 80 combo, and it won't happen for China. Motion is dropped at the end, but it doesn't matter anymore. The carry has been done. The carry has been handed out, and South Korea is going to take another point off of China. 5-2 in the leading position now, with the ending spinner giving them a 70,000 score advantage on that map. Whoa, that one got really intense towards the end once again. Incredible play by Motion there. 4 misses only by Crystal as well. But wow, the level of play we can see in this match, it's just outstanding. It's alien. It's just something else.
China performed so well there, but Motion was able to just keep that combo a lot longer than anyone else. China unfortunately had that triple miss, that team miss towards the final kind of 200 or 300 combo. And the misses from Rockmer and QWHJ were not enough to offset the absolutely astounding performance that Motion put in there. So once again, proving why he is the #1 player in the world. It's not just because, oh, he's got a bunch of PP scores. It's not just because he plays the game more than anyone else. He can perform here, there, and everywhere. And it is going to be a 5th point to South Korea.
China's gonna follow up with a Noma pick here. Nani DF. With an interesting difficulty name as well, mapped by Mir, so you can expect some very unconventional patterns in this map. South Korea,
I think China have to be feeling pretty confident on this one, because this was not a map that South Korea did badly on by any stretch of the imagination yesterday. Motion 1 missed, QWHJ 3 missed, and Spectator had a little bit of a higher miss count, but he did manage to get over a 1,000 combo. So hopefully this is just a pick that China feels super comfortable on, or that South Korea's performance was a little bit of a one-off, because otherwise this could be heading to match point South Korea, and we could be looking at a bracket reset.
Exactly. For the people that only just tuned in, if South Korea were to win this match, we're going to have a bracket reset, and they're going to have to play again. It's going to be a long day for them.
It's not a catch World Cup with without a bit of Camellia feet Nanahira, so this one is for all of you Nanahira fans.
Shout out to you guys.
Looks like we're going to be getting into this game number 8 though in just a few seconds. South Korea looking to take it to match point. China desperately need to mount a comeback if they want to avoid the bracket reset.
Yeah, they're still in this game. The scoreline doesn't really mean a lot to them. I think they've been in more nervous situations than this. As we get started with the 8th map. Everybody slowly syncing up. So again, coming from double time to a pretty technical combat pick. Interesting to see little swaps here. Crystal, Kalyanet, and Dusk all staying in the lobby. South Korea is going to have a swap for Rockma, I think. Or am I crazy? Am I becoming crazy? I might be.
Everyone hitting 200 combo as we come into this first Ki breaking down section. No issues thus far. We do see a miss from Motion, though, the first to go down, which gives China the early advantage in this one.
No correction here from me. All the players played the previous map as well, so a lot of adapting needed. Crystal and Kalina both gonna miss here. South Korea back in the leading position. Everybody catching those inverted jumps. Time for some snapping, everybody.
Yeah, some really punishing anti-flow leading into an out sliders is going to catch Rockma out there. Puts
and a entire team drop there for South Korea.
Huge advantage now for Team China. They won't know the advantage that they have, but that triple miss from South Korea puts China in such a good place, even with that singular miss from Kalyanet. They can build a huge lead here and just carry it throughout the rest of the map.
Let's not get complacent. The lead is not really too big, as you can see, only about 30,000 points. It's not really building up further due to the miss of Kalyanet. But a lead is a lead nonetheless. This is exactly what they needed. They can now see this lead of theirs about, give or take,
25,000?
how many points? 25,000, yeah. It's a lead nonetheless, but they know that a single miss will once again give it back to South Korea. And this has happened twice in this match already. 3 times even, probably.
Dusk still holding on to that double S, though, as we come towards the 1,000 combo mark. Halfway through the map now, we've got a little calmer section, but some of these jumps are still very punishing and can catch players out if they're not paying attention.
Few people wiggling here even. That takes some guts.
Just
Alrighty.
manages to reach the 1,000 combo mark. Everyone else around the 5 to 700 combo. Crystal leading the way, but everyone is above 200 combo except Kalyanet now. Kalyanet going to drop. That score difference is going to become very small as we come into the next Ki section.
Incredibly small as Dusk and QWH trade a miss here once again. Oh, and once again it's going to come down to the wire. It's feeling like one of those days where Kalyanet and Crystal are both going to miss out of it. Motion and Rockma still holding their 700 and 800 combo respectively. A lot can still happen. 1/4 of the map left. South Korea will need to miss a few if China were to take this point out of it. Motion might be getting a little nervous due to this combo. Same goes for Rockma. Crystal, however, missing again for China, and South Korea is starting to look better and better by the second. No misses for any of the other players so far.
South Korea closing on a 6th victory. Motion with that 1,200 combo now. He FC'd yesterday. It's not going to be an FC today as Kalyanet finds another drop for China to extend South Korea's advantage. But it is going to be a very convincing performance by Motion. Rockma at that 1,300 combo mark as well. Crystal going to find another drop in the closing stages. Dusk building a huge combo back at the end, but it is not going to be enough to overcome this score difference because South Korea are giving absolutely no inch to China here. Rockma and Crystal going to trade, but it is too late to make a difference. South Korea match point in this potentially match number 1 before the bracket reset.
What a mind-shattering second half there from South Korea. What? Incredible. Oh my goodness. China was leading up until like 2/3 into the map, right? But wow, they just didn't give a single inch, as you already mentioned. Such solid performance there at the end of all these South Koreans. The miss count is actually higher on their end, with Dusk only accounting for a single miss throughout the entire map, but it's not enough for China. Both teams just the performance is just so outlandish. It's absolutely amazing to see. But South Korea once again taking a point there. They're moving quite comfortably into a bracket reset if this were to continue. They just need a single point.
Okay, I've got a cool stat for you that I just picked up and I was never expecting to see.
Okay.
It's okay.
Hit me up.
So Motion didn't manage to replicate his 1 miss from yesterday, but someone who did manage to replicate their performance from yesterday was QWHJ. Yesterday, his best performance was 915 combo, 974k. In the match today, he got 914 combo, 975k points. That is
Talk
like
about
about
consistency.
as beautiful consistency as you could ever hope to see from a player. And
Yeah,
that is
incredible.
exactly what China were hoping not to see. That performance from South Korea yesterday was a one-off because they were winning and they were comfortable and they weren't under any pressure. But South Korea performing on anything China can throw at them here, and China looked like they're going to go to a bracket reset almost certainly. But as we said, if it goes to a bracket reset, South Korea look like they'll have the advantage. China have struggled to really bolster down like multiple picks in a row where they can secure a victory, and South Korea look like they're going to close this one out on whiteout by Kaneko Chiharu if they can score this final point.
Yeah, Calumet is already not feeling this map, and this is definitely a map that favors South Korea in my opinion too. The left-right wiggles, the incredibly stupidly fast left-right is just what South Korea is best at. People like Motion and Rockma can do that amazingly due to Rockma mapping a lot of these kind of maps too. China is going to be the second best team to perform on these kind of maps, but I don't know. I think this is going to be quite a convincing point for South Korea if it really comes down to both teams playing their A game. Maybe China can pull something out of the blue and perform 120%. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Cali are not going to be playing for this map, but already saying like, let's go round 2. So maybe they're wanting this one to just be over with so they can get the bracket reset, have that kind of 10 or 15-minute break or however long it's going to be, and just refocus, resettle the nerves and think, right, we need a new strategy because this one has not worked out. They tricked us, they trapped us, we're not going to fall for the same mistakes twice.
Interesting enough, China is not using any of the breaks they could use, not really calling for a timeout at all, which could, in this situation, be quite helpful, I do think, personally, but I wonder why they aren't doing it. Maybe they are just content with the X amount of minutes between two matches they might get if South Korea were to take this win. But personally, I would look into doing it. Especially coming up with this kind of a map, whiteout.
We're still waiting for a third player to appear on the side of South Korea. We just saw QWHJ dropping in. Spectator was the third member for the Korean roster yesterday, but we're going to maybe see if he's going to be continuing or if they're going to put another member in for this one. But yeah, this is going to be approach rate 9.9, 200 BPM no mod, some super fast snapping for pretty much this entire map. It's going to be a real test of our players' precision and how quickly they can stop and change direction for their capture over and over again. A length of only 2 minutes is not too long, but this is going to be an absolute burst to the finish.
Exactly. Couldn't have worded it better. Yeah, we're waiting for that third player to be slotted in. It's Spectator after all.
It's going to be Spectator reprising his third slot role on Korea from yesterday. He was the weakest member of South Korea yesterday, but still managed 925,000, so certainly not anything to sniff at.
Yeah, mind-crushing numbers there. 925,000 points is the lowest score of your team on a map like this. We're gonna get started with perhaps the final map of this first bracket. And then maybe we'll move into another match, South Korea vs China round 2. As South Korea is coming from losers bracket, China still in a leading position in a sort of sense. I believe this map definitely favors South Korea, but we don't know. We might see some crazy plays from Nagi as well, who's definitely improved on this kind of style of map greatly in the past few weeks. And Crystal and Dust, the behemoths we all come to expect and know. No misses so far.
Yeah, everyone reaching 200 combo without too much difficulty, but QWHJ is going to be the first to drop on that little
Nagi also dropped. So it's going to trade out, level out, they're going to trade each other here.
I think both of them were missing after 200 combo, so that alone is not going to be a difference.
Oh!
But Dusk have a huge number of misses there, both of them hitting towards failing. QWHJ missed as well, but that is going to be a huge dent in China's score.
That was close to the entire team fail. They should be thanking Crystal after that one. The score difference isn't even that big yet, with QWH coming in with another miss. These combo advantage are going to be in the hands of China for the time being. Dusk struggling there, missing a few notes once again. South Korea now running away with the score for the time being. Some invert jumps moving into streams. Everybody catching those.
We had a little bit of issue with QWHJ's client there. Hopefully he is still... There we go, reconnected, no problem. We have seen some misses, but it's nothing too problematic. Dusk is going to find another drop. Spectator drops as well, and China have the advantage now.
Yeah, we kind of missed out on that because of the client issues we just had, but now China back in the leading position indeed. 2 misses on the end of South Korea were only traded by Dusk once here. Crystal with the double S still. Is he going to hold on to it? Motion coming in with another miss. And together with QWH, and now China is finally able to capitalize on this stuff. QWH struggling. Crystal's going to find a miss, but it trades off.
As long as China can stay alive here, they've probably secured this and saved the match for now. QWHJ has been missing fairly regularly in this one. Maybe just a little bit too fast. Spectator's gone down. Motion may have failed there.
Motion looking like a fail indeed. And never mind, it's not a fail. It's not a fail. Nobody failed in the end, but he failed right before the ending there. But China is indeed going to take that point by about 107,000 points. With Crystal's 2 misplay on this map. Everybody look at that. 980,000 points there. Incredible score. QWH actually struggling quite a lot there on 2 points. Not entirely sure if that is just him playing bad or whether that's some kind of client-like issues he had. I don't entirely know for sure. Dusk with a A, but still 900k score very impressively. Spectator doing better than yesterday. Motion also around 900, and let's see how much score he actually had. 952,000. Yeah.
Yeah, so Motion did not fail. The client just didn't pick up his revival quite in time, but it wouldn't have mattered. I think China had that one won anyway. So yeah, unfortunate. QWHJ was the difference maker there. He really did not perform at the level what we saw from him yesterday. Really struggling to maintain any kind of combo, and that is going to be a break point for China. South Korea is still on 3 match points right now, so it's definitely still in their advantage. But the ball is back in China's court. They have a second wind here.
What shall they pick? Out of maps by now already. So again, we're going to see a Nomad. Preteritum. Bygone by time difficulty. Quite an interesting map, this. Has some interesting pattern changes every so often. One of the least wiggly maps from the Nomad pool. Interestingly enough, China not really opting for hard rock this time around. Not really trying to beat South Korea at that. They're going to try and play it safe with Nomad. Maybe see how well South Korea plays in these kind of maps. To pick up a little bit of intel. Because they might just move into a bracket reset match. Alrighty, they're quick to ready up this time. Again, no roster swaps from what I can see. Only Spectator swapping out for Rockma here.
China have maybe rediscovered a strategy they can implement here, because this was the US's first pick against South Korea in their losers bracket final match yesterday, and QWHJ actually failed with 27 misses at the very end of this pick. So maybe they're thinking that, hey, the guy's just had a bad time on the previous pick. He's going to be feeling nervous. Let's put him back in on something that we know he has failed like just yesterday, and maybe he's going to struggle again. So this could be a very sensible target from China to secure another point.
That is a
it's
very
not going to go all the way
there.
to kind of recovering this match, but if they can win 2 in a row, maybe South Korea start to get nervous.
Okay, and here we have the first few misses from Nagi and Rockma as we move into the more intense part of the map. You're quite right there. That is an interesting point you brought up. especially due to QWH's performance on the previous map. So far, he's looking very solid, though.
Yeah, he did manage a good
close.
kind of 500 combo and then really started to fall apart towards the end. So
Motion and
Nagi with a
Magnus.
few misses there as well, but Motion, as you said, dropping as well. So South Korea still holding a very small advantage in terms of combo and score, but it's only 13,000 at this stage.
Yeah, it's nothing to worry about yet for China. Ooh, great performance, however, for so many people. QWH now actually the only one in the lobby with a double S. There's some FCs as well. Very slight score difference here. Again, we're back in the same spot where a single miss will make or break a team. Nerves are going to be evoked here in the slower part of the map.
Yeah, Motion coming up to that 200 combo now. Nagi almost about to do the same. So that score difference is probably no more than 15,000 as we come to these really snappy sliders. No one overshooting them, everyone handling them nicely. More wiggling, but QWHJ is starting to fall apart now.
And that's going to go back to China because of that. Barely leading here as everybody on the end of China has some very nice combos. Kalyanet and does impressive there, but he's gonna miss together with Motion, Nagi, and Rockba. Only Kalyanet here with a combo left. QWH really struggling there towards the end. Kalyanet with the full combo still though. Incredible. Is he gonna reach 1,000 combo? He is. And the map is getting more technical.
Everyone else is going to be just about coming back up to 200 combo, but Rockma misses. QWHJ misses. Another triple miss. Motion goes down as well. South Korea are falling apart here. Dusk and Nagi are going to drop as well, but Kalyanet stays strong. I think he's had only one droplet miss this whole map. Now he finally drops as we
now,
see a
but that is right before the end of the match. He might have actually failed there. Hold up. Is there any pattern that could make him revive incoming still? Or is that... Hold up. That could be very bad news, this.
Whether there's enough here.
Did he die? Did he survive? What happened to Kalyanet? He seemingly died at the end of the map there. No, not even Kalyanet failed. Hold up. What happened there?
I think he might have just...
He
did.
did.
He just revive? He
He
just
did
revive?
fail at the end. No, he did fail at the end. South Korea is going to take this one. He had the highest score in the lobby, but he failed. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Is tragic. I was just about ready to get some Carionet hype going in the chat, but he's just fallen apart right at the end.
Oh, and that's going to lead to a bracket reset here. South Korea is going to take the first game. They're going to force China to play another game here. It's not over yet, people. It is not yet over. We're going to take a 50-minute break for these two teams, and they're going to go back to 0-0. They're going to play another match. Oh, but that final point for China, that hurts a lot.
So yeah, just to kind of summarize, South Korea have won the match, but they are not yet World Cup champions. CWC and obviously all the OS World Cups are double elimination format. South Korea were in the losers bracket. Both these teams have now lost one match to each other. So we'll have a bracket reset and one final time to decide who goes down as the 2020 OSCatch World Cup champion. So yeah, we're going to take a little 15-minute break, and do make sure to go grab yourself a drink, something to eat, stretch your legs, try and embrace how much hype that was and that your life will still continue after we're done. But yeah, we're going to be back very, very soon. Don't go anywhere far. We're going to have the thrilling conclusion to this match between South Korea and China for the World Cup Championship. All the marbles, highest stakes, very, very soon.
So stay tuned. Well then, round 2 is upon us. China versus South Korea. It's gonna happen again. We're gonna see some epic moments again. Not again, however. We figured that JB Period has his birthday today, so everybody wish him a happy birthday. Woo! I got that right.
I'm old. Thank you for telling everybody. Yes, it's that day.
That is
so
unnecessary detail.
yeah, well, it's just. I mean, I'm looking forward to a great match. It's a good way to celebrate your birthday. I'm in quarantine, so it's not like I could go anywhere or do anything. So nice to be enjoying some excellent fruit catching action with all of you guys in Twitch chat, and of course, you, Sarton.
Oh, thank you.
My dear friend.
Yeah, my
who
dearest
tells everyone
friend.
how old I am in front of the
I have
whole
not
world.
mentioned your age at all. Not at all. 22, right?
Plus a few.
Plus a few. Give or take. So yeah, both teams are still preparing, I assume. And from what we've been told, we're going to see one more warm-up coming from South Korea as we move into the match. So we're going to have to wait until we get to the actual pointy part of it. But that is all cool. They can drag this match up for as long as they want to. This is entertainment to the max.
Yeah, so both of these teams have beaten each other once and lost to each other once now. China winning 7-6 in the winners bracket final. South Korea winning 7-3 just a little while ago. Or 7-2 actually. Oh my god, I've forgotten already. My brain! It's not working! It's still very early here. I need to just reset. Like, these guys have had a reset. I need a reset. Oh my goodness.
Hey, we got that same break. What are you on about?
I had to just eat breakfast at the speed of light, and it hasn't quite reached my brain and fueled my mental processes yet.
Okay. Fair enough. Alrighty, so we've got a very unique map for you people here. CWC inspired, definitely.
Yeah, we saw this one last week, I think. An excellent mashup of excellent memes from years and tournaments gone by.
Very nostalgic indeed.
We've even got some Shui Mao Xiao in there as well from this year's World Cup.
Got it all.
Some Kara
Got
Kara
everything.
sacks.
Yeah. Get yourself a bit of a throwback here, everybody. So, round 2 of South Korea versus China. Have your expectations shifted by now, JBH, as in who's going to win this match?
I mean, our expectations, at least mine, I think yours were the same, were that if South Korea won and forced a bracket reset, then it was definitely in their advantage. They have the momentum, they have the kind of additional knowledge of what things China are strong at and what things China are weak at. So I definitely think that the ball is in their court to stamp their authority on the game. China will have learned a lot from the previous match. I don't think it's going to be enough to secure them a victory, though. I think South Korea are definitely in the ascendancy here and will go on to secure another 7 points.
Gotcha. I agree with that. I do believe that indeed South Korea is definitely looking like the stronger team. Not by a lot, but the strongest team nonetheless. We had an unfortunate fail at the very last map of the previous match, which led to South Korea taking a 7-3. But that could have gone either way still. If Kalyan did not fail, he actually had the highest score in the entire lobby. China would have taken that win, so yeah.
Yeah, you can't dwell too much on the past, especially when it's kind of heartbreaking like that. This is a new match, new score. We're starting again from 0-0. Again, it's best of 13, so first to 7. And yeah, this time South Korea are the red side on the left, China are the blue side on the right of your screen.
Impressive wiggling here from a few players. 2/3 into the warm-up. Bit of everything here.
Every time I listen to this, I pick out like another song or 2 songs from the pool that I didn't notice before. We got Ucha from the DT pool in the background there as well, which I didn't notice until now. It's one of the K-pop.
Such a crazy remix this. Quite well made, though, honestly speaking. Quite well mixed indeed.
Yeah, I like it. Rockmer, rank when?
Yeah, you've heard it. Now we look at you, JBH.
Wait for the end. Oh.
Oh.
The ninja
That
spin
scared
at
me.
the end.
A little out of breath now. Very impressive score there for Motion with an A.
Yeah, Dusk
Anybody
likes
else?
the map so much he's still playing it.
He just went back, did it again. So, seemingly, China is gonna skip their opportunity to pick a warm-up. They just want to get into the match right now. Sorry, Sada, I got no S-Flute warm-ups this year.
They're fantastic.
He knows I'm a fan. Maybe next year. It's fine, dude. Just play your match to the best you can. That's what we're here for. Do miss him a little bit, but can't be too biased here.
It's not about what we want.
We want a lot from you guys, but you guys are already providing exactly that to us in the form
Dusk
of
with a
the
much
major
better
match.
roll this time around though. 78. Solid start.
Might actually win for a change.
Dusk winning a roll is unheard of.
Imagine Motion now rolling 79.
We haven't seen a tied roll in a while. We've seen 2 or 3 this tournament, but
That is so unlikely to happen, actually.
also, yeah, we've damned the 33 tie roll. It's going to be a 60 for Motion, so Dusk wins the roll. We get a reversal this time around. South Korea will have to ban first, and China will ban second and then pick first.
This might actually be quite significant because I did have a feeling like those first 2 points South Korea scored against China in the previous match actually proved very useful to them in the form of momentum. China only kind of picked up their game at Korea's 5th-ish point, right? When they started getting some nice scores, or even nicer scores, I should be saying. So this might actually be pretty big for China.
So a fairly sensible ban. South Korea once again taking Hidden 3 off the table, which they really didn't like in their match against the US. Be interesting to see if China adapt their ban based on how they performed in the recent match, or whether they still ban Hidden 1 because they just don't want to deal with that map.
They lost on the previous hidden pick in the match with South Korea, so I actually do not expect them to change their ban per se. Maybe if they're gonna go right out of the gate with that map, but we shall wait and see. Could also be a tactic, yeah. Just ban something else, maybe a double time or so. No, never mind. They're gonna ban it after all.
Yeah. Aside from the last map, which obviously was due to Kalionet's fail, Panopticon was the only map in the previous match that the score difference was more than 100,000. So there was nothing really there that they felt we're really not good at this map and we don't want to play it. So yeah, I agree. It makes sense to keep the Shining Needle ban.
Very sensible indeed.
First picks will heavily likely change though, especially now that China have their first pick potential. They definitely won't be first picking humanly, I believe, though. They're not going to fall into that trap once again.
Got a good taste of ice kicking on that map, so definitely wise for them to opt for something else this time around. But what will they do? You haven't
Well,
seen
their
a lot of
first
hard
victory-
play.
Their first victory was at 3-0 down on Kitsune no Yomeri from the No Mod pool, so maybe they'll start with that, but that doesn't feel like the kind of map that you really want to open with. It's not very comfortable in any way, shape, or form. But
Well-
it is what they're going for. Holy moly! Shut my mouth. This
Zip
is
it
very
up.
interesting.
Alrighty, but I was actually about to agree with you there. Because this is definitely not a very comfortable opener map by any means, so it's a map they won on. Maybe they just hope that South Korea is going to feel even less comfortable on that map. Yeah,
I mean, the score difference was only 27,000, and Dusk did kind of heavily underperform on this. Kalionet and Crystal did most of the heavy lifting for China. So I like this move from China. This is aggressive. It's like something that they've won on, that they feel comfortable with, that they know South Korea don't like. It's risky in a sense that it's a very difficult map that can go either way. Like, you can play this map and get 900k, and then you can play it again an hour later and get 700k and have no idea why you're playing so much better or worse. So it's risky, but I like it. It's showing positive intent, which is exactly what China need to set off on a positive foot.
Let's see if it pays off as we move into the final match of this year. South Korea versus China. V3. The third encounter in this tournament. It's going to decide everything.
No more bracket resets now. This is the real deal. Winner takes all to become the 2020 Oscatch World Cup champion.
Let's see. Good start for all players. Very good start even.
Yeah, these triangle patterns are pretty punishing in terms of their distance, but everyone managing to just about reach 200 combo with no difficulties.
No in the shooting so far. Impressive. Impressive. This looks staged. First miss there for Kalyanet, however, is going to give the early lead to South Korea. There were a lot more misses on the previous time they played this map.
Yeah, on the previous pick, both teams started off very kind of shakily, and then towards the end they got stronger and stronger and the combos got bigger. So although South Korea have the advantage here, there's still plenty of opportunity and really difficult patterns. Yeah, there's the double miss from Korea that gives China the advantage, and it's almost perfectly placed. Kalyanet just hitting 200 combo right now. There's 4 misses, 2 from both sides, but South Korea are going to stay slightly behind because Kalyanet was at 200 combo.
Halfway through the map, it's very close indeed. Motion, the only one left with combo here. Dusk is gonna miss again though, and that's gonna give it back to South Korea probably for the time being. The combo advance only very slightly in the hands, but the score difference is so small as well. And as you can see, the bar is slowly working its way towards the red. Dusk now at 130 combo.
Missing almost immediately as soon as they get the advantage. Dusk is about to hit 200 combo himself, so China can start building a lead here.
It's still very clutch, and now they know it's, again, only 24,000 points of difference. They now know the combos on the end of South Korea. They know they're in the leading seat, but everything really depends on this part.
This spacing is so brutal. It all matters. Is anyone going to drop? Can anyone hold on? Motion is still holding on to that full combo.
Still make a break here. It all depends on the incoming next miss, if there's any to be had at all. This is crazy consistency for all players. Are they just gonna run away? Dusk is gonna miss right at the end, but it's not enough for South Korea to capitalize on. Wow! These combos.
Full combo from Motion on a map that is now, I think, 6 or maybe 7 years old. In a World Cup final in the first pick. That is an absolutely ridiculous play by
South
Motion.
Korea could not have played better there. This was just... They did everything they could. That is such an incredible performance from all players. Spectator being the lowest score with only 900,000 and only 6 misses. So it's that crazy, people. That was a very clutch point for China. And South Korea is going to move back into Hard Rock.
Yeah, so China will be feeling maybe a little bit nervous that was a bit closer than they hoped, but it was still a win, and it doesn't matter how you get the point. They've scored them. They're on the board. They have the lead for the first time in this kind of two-match series. South Korea are going to be picking next, and again, they are going to opt for the same first pick, Embraced by the Flame, which they won by 102,000 points. This was the second largest margin of victory. Motion scoring just 6 misses on their previous encounter. Nagi really struggled with this pick in the opening of the previous match, only maxing at 468 combo. So hoping that he can feel a little bit more confident now and make up the difference between the two teams slightly.
It's quite different, this map, compared to the last map we played there. This is current meta versus very old mapping from Minky. It's quite the transition indeed, and the teams seem to be keeping the players they had in the previous map, except for Nagi. And QWH is actually going to hop in for Rockma here too. Nagi with the early first miss. That's it for now. He's back at 200 combo now. Feels like the teams are performing even better than in the last match, which is a crazy thought because we did not believe it could get any better than this. Looking like it. There's so little to cast about here. There's nothing happening because
there really
all
is
the players
nothing. Nagi just 100 combo below from that early miss, but everyone else still missed. Spectator sees the first drop on the side of Team Korea, though.
Very
just
unfortunate
slightly
drop too.
under dashing one of those kind of long timeline gaps.
You got a little complacent there, maybe. The lead is going to go back to China now due to Nagi's miss being so early. But we saw so many more misses during this time on the previous run of this map, so despite us being pretty silent so far, they're just playing brilliantly. That's what's happening.
Maybe because in the previous match, obviously this was the very first pick because South Korea ended up winning the roll. And everyone was just a little bit more nervous than they are now. Everyone maybe feeling a little bit more comfortable. That lead is so tiny right now. It can't be more than a couple thousand points at most. Nagi now at 1000 combo, everyone else just 100 ahead. Spectator's recovered really nicely, but Motion's going to see a drop. He has the combo reset, which gives China just a little bit more breathing room as we come towards the halfway point.
Barely any breathing room, however.
Only a little bit.
Just a tiny vent has been open, but that's it. Crystal's going to miss 2, however, so that's going to trade. And now we're back to tied scores. Nagi and Crystal both missing out. First time South Korea is going to take the lead in this map. Nagi struggling a little bit on that part. It's all about consistency, this. Dusk, and I wanted to mention QWH, but he's going to miss an entire slider there.
Yeah, getting very close to failing almost, but plenty of chance to recover, and he does so. But Motion's going to drop again. This could give the score advantage back, because Crystal is at 200 combo now. Yeah. Nagi is very close.
Going back to China indeed. Crystal dropping at a very unfortunate part, but so does QWH. Is all traded out again. Crystal's gonna miss again. And so does Nagi, missing an entire stream. Oh, that's unfortunate. China's chance is gone.
Spectator's gonna drop on the side of Korea though.
Never mind.
Drops again.
Oh, the shifts are happening so suddenly and so quickly over here. Crystal and Nagi now leading in combo again over Spectator QWH. Is it enough to bring back the score, however? They need 21,000 points right at the ending part of the map. So more streams here. Spectator missing again. Seemingly China might take it from here. China now back in the driver's seat.
Dusk.
Now they need to hold on.
This is a memory of years gone past. Dusk has just put the whole China team
Crystal
on right now. But Crystal's gonna drop.
South Korea back. Nagi dropping as well. They're gonna need multiple misses for South Korea, but China's gonna drop the entire team. And South Korea is now quickly grabbing score and leading. The red bar is filling up. Spectator motion, however, missing simultaneously.
There's still chance.
And that actually provides leeway. Dusk, however, missing, and that's gonna slow down progress once again. They're gonna need one more miss for South Korea to bring this back to their victory. Nagi's gonna miss out of though, together with QWH, but it looks like he failed or so. What happened here?
We're gonna have to wait and see if QWHJ actually revived there, but if that's a fail, that is a huge breakpoint for China. We're reading it as 1-1, so we do believe QWHJ did revive at this point.
He revived. Goodness gracious, that was so scary to view, but my god, the performance on this map by
not
these
just
players.
The performance, but the step up from the previous match is so insane. Dusk with the 2200 combo, that's ridiculous. Yeah, we are reading QWHJ's score was 1,044,000, so very impressive performance. He managed to revive just in the nick of time, and that is a point for South Korea, so we're tied at 1 game apiece.
South Korea still taking their win on their own pick, but wow, was it close again. 31,000 points of difference, or 32 really. Oh,
Yeah,
it's looking like both
closer
teams
than in
are
the
now
previous
fully
match.
warmed up after that first match. They're now playing at 120% of their performance. This is the max they can do. And
So
nobody else can do that.
From this point on, China elected to go with some hidden options, and South Korea pretty much just picked out the whole double time pool. And that wasn't a good idea for China, so it'll be interesting to see where they go next. Do they go for whiteout, which was their third point?
Not entirely sure. That went surprisingly well for China in the previous match, but it was not a map they were looking forward to playing at all. Kalyan had even mentioned that that would be their loss. For some reason they won. They are going to pick it, however. They don't care about our opinions. They have their own story written out for them. They're going to go no more one whites out. Again, a pick they were like not looking forward to in the previous match versus South Korea. They actually picked it. Now China is going to pick it instead. After figuring out South Korea might not be as strong as they expected them to be. But still, it's a dangerous pick in my opinion.
QWHJ really did not have a good time on this pick when it was played last time. He had 73 misses. It'll be interesting to see if he makes a reappearance. I don't think he is. The players are readying up, and it looks like Rockmer is going to be stepping in place of QWHJ. I think China maybe targeted this pick at South Korea having another kind of struggle with one of their players. But if Rockmer is stepping in and he can feel he can comfortably play this, this could be difficult for China. But it's very interesting also that this was the only other map of the maps that we've got left where the score difference was over 100,000. So the rest of the map could be very, very close map after map.
Nagi with the early first miss, not snapping in time.
Yeah, missing that long vertical slider on the right-hand side.
Crystal's gonna follow it up. Early leader for South Korea. Not the longest of maps, there's still plenty of room left for mistakes. Spectator's gonna prove to be the first to drop for South Korea, gonna trade it with Nagi. Ooh, Nagi actually struggling now, missing again. Rockma's gonna follow it up. Crystal back at 2 in the combo, however. And now Spectator's gonna drop again, so we have China in the driver's seat. Rockma struggling. So probably gonna swap the score in favor of China. The bar's working his way towards the blue side.
China definitely have the combo advantage right here with Dusk and Motion still tying on that double S. Nagi now above 200 combo. Rockman's gonna drop again before he can reach it. Dusk is gonna drop
and Motion are gonna trade as well. Oh, it's so ever so close. The combos are exactly the same. Well, Dusk is slightly leading over Motion, but it's not gonna prove enough yet. Nobody is missing 2/3 in. Score difference of only 10,000 points at the moment. Spectator's gonna miss. China's gonna take it down. And Dusk is gonna trade it. Crystal's gonna miss as well. Combo advance back to South Korea. Score back to South Korea.
One-third
Gonna be able to rest a little bit. Everybody hitting those inverted jumps. It's gonna come down to the wire once again.
Dusk and Crystal just about to get back to 200 combo, but Crystal trades a miss with Motion. The score difference is going to stay at around about 40,000. Crystal's going to miss again. That's going to extend it even further. This could be a break point for South Korea.
It's looking like it so far. China's going to need at least 2 misses here for South Korea. But so far, it's only Crystal missing on this part. And everybody caught that stream. Nagi also back at 1,000 combo, but it's not going to go in favor of China. South Korea coming in hot with a break point of their own on whiteout, their initial pick in the first match. But the scores have once again improved greatly across the board. Crystal was struggling with getting high combos over there a little bit. Didn't underperform by any means, though. And oh my goodness.
Yeah, the subbing in of Rockma there for QWHJ was a really good tactic. QWHJ obviously just not feeling that comfortable with the speedy pick that late in the match. Rockma, no stranger to speed of all shapes and sizes. He puts in a very impressive performance with the 9 miss to gift South Korea the break point. So that's one of only 3 points that China took in the previous map. They've won 1 and now lost 1. So China have only 1 pick left to them. that they won from the previous match. That was, of course, Purple Passion. That must be a huge confidence boost to South Korea.
Especially after China got the initial advantage with the roll going in their favor and then winning their first point. Now it's back to South Korea, however. We're going to see Blessing Snow once more. AR 10.5. This is a ridiculously fast map. One of the first times we are seeing anything over AR 9 double time in a World Cup. AR 9.2 this is.
So South Korea look like they're going to continue their strategy that did well for them in the first match. Just pick double time and outspeed China. We had Rockma with the full combo performance on this in the previous match that really did good. Dusk actually full combo this as well with insane accuracy. And Crystal got the one miss, but it was South Korea that came out on top. Kalyanet unfortunately had a little more misses than the rest of his team. So let's hope that he has stepped up his game and can keep China in with the mix.
Yeah, there's a good chance this is going to be a lot harder for South Korea than the first time in taking a point. I do have a feeling Kalyanet is finally getting warmed up and ready to take them on with double time. We shall wait and see.
Motion coming back in just as we would expect. Looking like we're going to have an unchanged set of teams from the previous match. This one's only about 1.5 minutes in length, so it's going to be over quickly. But it's going to be so fast. It'll go by in an epic blur, so try not to blink.
GL. Everybody say GL as we move into the fourth map of this game. Is China going to follow the script and take a breakpoint as well? Or will South Korea come on top? Give themselves a bit of a lead. Bit of a confidence booster. We shall see on this ridiculously fast map. Blessing Snow. We are getting started. Here we go. Hidden being picked by Rockma as per usual. Motion here with an early miss. Pretty uncharacteristic. QW, Dusk and Kalyanet following it up, so the score is pretty equal. Crystal, however, is also going to miss. Rockma now the only one left with high combo.
It is that man once again, Rockma, standing tall with the 250 combo as he continues to build. Motion is almost back up at 200 combo now as well. The score difference is about 50,000 in favor of South Korea and growing.
No misses here. Oh, this is so impressive to see. Nobody is missing these patterns.
Everyone
it's
managing
crazy.
to build back up to that 200 combo mark nicely as we approach halfway.
Kalyanet performing a lot better than he did in the first match. Crystal's going to be the next to miss, however, so South Korea's lead is going to grow ever so much more. We're going to need a few misses here from South Korea in order to catch up again China. And they're going to have to happen soon because we're at the last sixth of the map here.
Yeah, only about 110 combo to go.
After the initial hiccup of Motion and QWH, they just kind of see the map. Rockma's probably going to opt to do the exact same. He's going to try and do it. And he's pulling it off. Kalyanet only missing right at the end. There was so little misses across the board. Single miss here for Dusk as well. Only 2 misses on the entire team of South Korea. What?
Can we just appreciate the fact that Rockma has FC'd this map back to back now?
There's so much to appreciate about these players.
This map in both matches. That is an insane team performance from South Korea.
That is absolutely stunning. Wow. Kalyanet with the worst performance with 6 entire misses. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, Dusk and Crystal had 1 and 2 misses between like each of them. And that's on the losing team. Oh, the skill level in this match is insanely high.
Hard to comprehend how good these players are, but this goes to show how well they stand above the rest of the competition. China losing a pick like that, with their combos and their miscounts, it's unbelievable. They're gonna to be able to pick next. South Korea now leading 2 points over China.
Yeah, this is a pretty similar situation to the previous match, except in the last one, South Korea took the 3 points before China started to make the comeback. The only other map that China won in the previous match was Purple Passion, which we may see come out of them next. I don't think South Korea will pick that again after seeing how confident China were on the convert double time.
True.
Which begs the question, what do they go for? Do they pick something where they lost narrowly and hope that they just do better this time? Or do they pick something that was left unselected in the previous match?
I don't know. I have a feeling they might actually... Yeah, there you go. Praetorium. That's what I thought. Despite the fail from Kalyanet in the previous match, they still had a lead on South Korea. Quite a big lead, even.
Yeah, had Kalyanet not failed, they would have won by 125,000. So it would have been one of the biggest margins of victory in the match.
So I do have a feeling that all they just need to do is not fail this time.
That man Kalyonet's got to be thinking, please God, not again.
Well, it depends. He had 1100 plus combo, this man, so he's not feeling uncomfortable. It's just that one pattern that really caught him off guard. He's just gonna have to focus on that.
But at the same time, if you're playing a map and then thinking like the ending is coming, ending is coming, you're not focusing on the map at its current state, and you're more likely to miss because you're piling so much pressure on yourself.
We'll see if that happens. Could be, but I have a feeling that Kalyanet has been in this spot a few times already, and he knows he shouldn't be too disheartened by his previous fail on the map. It's still a pretty sensible pick, this, for China. I wonder if South Korea is gonna perform better than they did in the previous match too. This is still a map that they should be really good on, South Korea.
Yeah, they didn't manage to get over 900k in the previous match, although Motion got 975,000 in the match against US. So they definitely underperformed in the previous map, as we see an early miss from QWHJ giving China the early advantage.
Quite a significant miss, actually, this, because this is the more free combo-ish part of the map before it really starts to ramp up in difficulty. As we go into the first drop, everybody hitting the left right, except for QWH, and Nagi now also dropping after those. Nagi struggling.
Yeah, Nagi missing right at the end of the difficult pattern. Very unfortunate to hit the difficult wiggle and then miss on the more kind of flowing section
also
afterwards.
miss. South Korea's going to take a lead. Solid performance from everybody else, though.
QWHJ now back up at 200 combo. Nagi about to do the same. Dusk a little further behind. About 15,000 points the score difference right now. It's actually grown a little bit. It's more like 25,000 now.
Not a lot still. A single miss on the end of South Korea will probably give the lead back to China. There's so many things you can miss on this map. Bit of a calm section here for all of you. Breathe in, breathe out. Incredible performance from Kalyanet, Rockma and Motion so far. All I've seen in the map. And nothing to sneeze at from Dusk and Nagi either. QWH also recovered really nicely. Is everybody gonna catch these snaps? Still very tricky, and it seems everybody does so. Rockma out, and now breaking for the first time. Dusk is gonna follow him up, so the score difference is not gonna change too much.
Kalyanet still holding that double S. Can he continue this time?
More misses incoming from all players except for Kalyanet and Motion. Again, proving to be two of the strongest players here. Both still holding on to double S even. Rockman had a few misses after that too, so the combo advantage is slightly in the hands of China, but only slightly. Kalyanet now breaking, and Motion is the only one left. Last man standing over there. Rockman's gonna miss a few extra times, but so do Kalyanet and Nagi. Combo advantage back to South Korea. Now Motion is gonna drop 2 out of it. Dusk, however, doesn't hold on to 200 combo either. So South Korea's looking to run away with it at the moment.
There's still so much fail potential here, though. It could still go either way.
Wasn't that it, though?
I think that's it.
That's probably the end. Yep. It looks like
Nobody
South Korea
seems
are
to
going to take
fail.
this one.
Oh, that is unfortunate for China. Now South Korea is in a very good position. Incredible play, though, from all of these players once again. Kalyanet did what he needed to do. He got an amazing score there of 940,000 points. Dusk and Nagi just underperforming relative to the other players.
Yeah, Nagy actually performed slightly better, at least in terms of score, than his previous match. But Dusk really didn't have such a good time that time around. He just kind of struggled to maintain a large combo for any great length of time. But Motion really turned the dial up that time around, getting 6 misses this time compared to his 19 misses in the previous match.
Kalyanet saying miss earlier to avoid mind block.
That's the strat.
It worked out, but sadly not for the entire team.
Yeah, not enough. I gotta imagine South Korea will probably go for the remaining double time here, or at least DT1 for sure.
Seems very sensible to me indeed. China is in a rough spot right now with South Korea leading 3 points over them, 4-1. They're really gonna have to pick up their game from this point onward. Can they even? Is there a way to perform even better than they are right now? I genuinely doubt so.
China waiting to find out what South Korea's next pick is going to be. They're taking their time. South Korea know that although they have a good advantage, they can't rush into things now.
Exactly as they should. Take it easy. You're still playing China. That has not changed.
Now it becomes difficult because although South Korea managed to there he is, giving me
I
the
did
old
it.
jokes.
I did it.
Shut up, kid.
You were
Anyway, we're going to
looking for
be
that
getting
one.
underway with game number 6. Just loading everyone in, syncing them up.
Okay, extremely confident win. Motion, however, with another full combo. This man is unstoppable at this point. And that's going to secure a 5th point. Oh, no, not an FC. It's a 1 miss.
He
I'm a
one missed
dum-dum.
in like the first 50 combo, I think.
I consider it an FC. I consider it an FC.
A
Good
low
enough,
accuracy
anyway.
FC.
Dust coming in with 2 misses of his own as well. Calumet, however, struggling, especially towards the end of the map. Maybe his finger's getting a little bit tired. Not entirely sure what happened there, but this is a very nasty spot for China to be in. They're going to need to grab another 6 points on South Korea. South Korea only needs 2.
Yeah, Rockma saying he's peaking at the perfect time. His best scores have come in this map. This time. So we do see a little bit of a mix-up, a little bit of a change in the order. This is appearing for the first time in this match. It was picked by South Korea against the United States, where Spectator and Motion both got over 1 million points, and QWHJ just a little further behind with the 12 misses.
Motion and Spectator, I need staying in the lobby here. Crystal's gonna get in. It's Sumi gonna play for South Korea.
Sumi making his first appearance in the match.
Very interesting.
So maybe they're just feeling that QWHJ is not wanting to be a part of this one, and he's like, nah, I didn't do well on that one the last time. I think that someone else can do better at it, so let them have a crack at it. We also see Kagamine Rin coming in for China. Wow.
So we're going to see
All
a bit
the
of a
mix-ups.
different roster from both teams now. Interesting to see Tsumi play here. I really did not expect that at all. I wonder how he will play on this kind of stage. Kagamine is more used to it. He's been one of the main players for China for many, many, many years. First time he's appearing in this match, though. So we are going to be in for a surprise, I do believe, JBH.
Yeah, without being unkind, Sumi and Kagamine would probably not normally be expected to play map pools quite this difficult. They are still both excellent players in their own right. I think Kagamine is probably a slightly higher skill ceiling than Sumi. But I think Sumi's advantage here is that he will be very proficient with this circle size because he's a very good hard rock combat player.
That is correct. This really is his forte. Kagamine, I think the same can be said about him doing these kind of maps. Sumi had an early miss, but it's not going to matter as Dusk and Kagamine are going to find 2 misses. Very soothing music. A bit different from what we've heard so far. Sumi coming in with a... Oh, dropping his entire health bar there.
Yeah, huge number of drops on that little stair pattern there. He's going to recover, but that is going to be enough. Oh, no, it's not. Kagamine and Crystal both missed there. I was going to say that's enough to give... Oh, there's a triple miss!
Let's take that back.
Two misses from South Korea, and Sumi does not have a 200 combo. China aren't exactly in the best place to capitalize, though, because Crystal doesn't have a 200 combo, and Kagamine Rin misses a second time.
Yeah,
Dusk on the 400 combo now, but Sumi missing again may give them an advantage.
Ooh, but not really, because Kagamine is going to miss once more. This is very unfortunate. Dusk is trying to do everything in his power to take this point, but
not working out so far. 2 misses here again for Toomey and Crystal. They are constantly trading. Spectator, this is the miss that China needs at the moment. They need to hold on to their combo. Only way for them to grab the point, because the map is almost over. More misses to be seen for both Motion. Spectator, Toomey, Crystal, and Kagamine. Dusk! Dusk! Everything is on the shoulders of Dusk. Everything depends on Dusk here.
It comes down to this so often. Crystal's going to miss again.
No,
trades. Motion misses once again, though.
Yeah, but Motion and Toomey miss, and only one of the Chinese players missed there. And as you can see, the skull bar is now loading on the end of China rapidly. No combos at 200 for South Korea. And Dusk is finally showing why he might be the best tournament performer. The more misses keep coming though. Motion and Spectator held on to combo. Will it be enough? Probably not. China taking it.
Yeah, we see the triple miss from China at the end there, but that man, Dusk, reliving his glorious days of totally dominating opponents in both single-player and team tournaments. Fantastic 2-miss, 99.8% accuracy from him. Exactly what China needed to get another point on the board.
Exactly. Toomey's struggling a little bit throughout the map, so maybe not the best idea to slot him in right at the final moments of this match, but it sadly didn't pay off. As you can see, South Korea is the next team to pick. Good point here for China, though. They really needed this.
Yeah, South Korea has still got a very healthy advantage, but China back on the board once again. They can try and halt South Korea's momentum and score some more points. South Korea would have probably picked DT3 next because they just picked out the whole double time pool, but that went in China's favor fairly comfortably, so they're going to have to look somewhere else. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Panopticon pick Hidden 2 here, just to really force a massive change on China.
Will that work though? Because China did something very similar with this map. I think South Korea anyway is going to opt for a map where Toomey won't be appearing in. I don't think it's a too good idea to keep him in. Not entirely sure if he's too acclimated to this kind of stage. What will they do, however?
They've still got 3 no mods hidden.
I wanted to suggest
They're going to go with
humanly.
Humanly, actually. So this was China's first pick in the previous match before the bracket reset. It was a targeted pick against South Korea, who banned this in their match against the United States. And then South Korea surprisingly snapped out their trap card and secured a very early break point against China.
Yeah, I wanted to suggest that probably Humanly is the most rational pick here. They won quite comfortably on this one.
Yeah, about 74,000 points the difference. China didn't perform badly on this by any stretch, but their whole team overall underperformed relative to their South Korean counterparts. It'll be interesting to see if that performance from South Korea was a one-off, or if they really have been that good at this pick the whole time, and they were just disguising it with their tactical ban against the US.
So many potential tactics being applied here.
Motion sleeping on the floor.jpg.
Not yet. Not yet, buddy. Come on.
He can't fall asleep, he's still got a team to lead.
Exactly. Let's see. Will they get started soon? Seemingly, they are. Okay. Wishing each other good luck again. And here we go in 5 seconds.
Yeah, the exact same 6 players that performed this pick in the previous match. Going to be going back at it again. China looking to perform much better this time. South Korea got a lot to live up to if they want a repeat performance.
Lots is at stake. Crystal here with the first miss for China. QWH is going to trade that.
A little later miss,
slightly
so yeah, China will have a slight advantage there with QWHJ's miss being made, but Crystal's going to miss once again, giving the lead right back to South Korea as everyone else is about to hit 200 combo. break time, and players can see the score lead is only about 5,000 points, growing slightly though with GWHJ's combo advantage.
Not too big of a difference yet.
Everyone now back above 200 combos, so that score difference has stabilized as about 15,000.
Yeah, very stable performance, except for motion and cute.
Oh, never mind me! South Korea breaks! The entirety of South Korea just breaks, and China now having a very comfortable spot. Dusk is gonna miss, but it doesn't really matter at all. They will see this. They will know
good.
this.
China know the advantage they have right now. It's about 50,000, and it's only going to grow because no one on South Korea has been able to make it back up to that 200 combo mark yet. There's a long way to go, in fact. GWHJ is only on 50 combo right now, equal with Dusk.
Nagi
is
still with
600 now, yeah.
Motion missing again, and China is really pulling ahead this time around. This is completely the opposite of what happened in the first match. QWH again missing, and everybody in China holding on.
Well, we could
Incredible.
still see things swing, but right now it's a 100,000 point advantage for China with about 1/3 of the map still to go. Plenty of breaks, and you can see regularly the advantage China have is just growing and growing. It's over 100k now.
Thank you. Both still need to work towards 200 combo. So that is going to grow ever so slightly.
Yeah, Motion has only just made it back to 200 now. QWHJ is about to do the same. There he goes. Score difference is about 120,000 right now and going to stabilize. Nagi about to hit 1,000 combo here.
Will he do it?
He's still holding on to that double S.
They all know where the next notes are falling. Preparing for the motion, however, gonna miss as well. And this time around, okay, gonna trade it with Crystal, but this time around, really looking like China is gonna be able to take a good point. Spectator motion, double miss over there. The score difference keeps growing as Nagi is
keeps
performing
going as well.
godlike.
He has really stepped up, and this is a crucial, going to be a break point for China if they can hold this, with only about 15 seconds left to go in the map.
Incredible to see how they can hit all of these patterns with such, it looks like they do it with such ease. Unbelievable. Nagi's gonna drop the FC, sadly. Spectator's gonna trade it. Sadly, Nagi not quite pulling off the zero miss, but wow, that was still incredibly good from Nagi.
Yeah, that is a much better performance from China than in the previous match, and a slight decrease in performance from South Korea. But it is a crucial break point for China. China get to pick next, and a victory puts them back within 1 point, touching distance of South Korea. This match is not over yet by a long shot.
They're trying to pull off a South Korea here. We're going to see a new map here, Tricklash 2020. Tricklash 220. From one of the South Korean players, Minato Yukina. Spice it up a little bit, China. Go ahead.
This one we won't have seen before. It's one of the last remaining picks that we've not seen in any of the matches this weekend. So I guess this is probably the most straightforward of the available hard rock picks in that it's not that long, just under 2 minutes in length, but it is quite fast, obviously with the 220 BPM. And a lot of the kind of wiggling patterns and hyper dashes can really add up onto your catching precision, even in just a 2-minute map. Oh, Rockman actually calling for the tactical timeout. I'm not sure if they're allowed to do that on their opponent's pick. Looks like that's fine. So yeah, we're gonna have a 2-minute break to allow South Korea to resettle the nerves, perhaps. So yeah, don't go anywhere. Maybe grab a quick drink, but we're going to be right back with all the action as soon as these teams are ready to go. South Korea just looking for a little bit of a breather. They notice that China have some momentum. Maybe it's a tactical decision to try and halt that. So time is ticking down now. The tactical timeout is almost over. We're going to be getting into game number 9. China looking to mount a strong recovery. South Korea wanting to get another breakpoint that will take them to match point on their own pick. And one step closer to that 5th World Championship title. All the good luck's coming out. Here we go then, underway, 5 to go. Loading everyone in, syncing everybody up, and away we go. Everyone's settling in nicely to this massive speed increase. 100 combo secured, no issues. $200 combo coming up. Spectator going to be the first to drop right before hitting 200 combo, gives China an early advantage. Nagy going to trade that though. No further misses. This may be advantage South Korea due to Spectator missing just before 200 combo. Dusk gonna drop is gonna give South Korea even more an advantage, and he's very low on HP here. Nagy going down as well. Spectator up at 200 combo. South Korea building a very large advantage. We're already halfway through the map, and China have a lot of combo to recover. Dusk back up at 200 combo, no problems then on. Nagy about to do the same. Score difference stabilizes as we approach the long slider. Spectator is going to drop at the end of the long slider though. That alone is not going to be enough to sway the difference, but it's a start. China need to see further misses from South Korea here with 1/3 of the map still to play. Motion and QWH still holding on to a double S.
Not looking too good for China though, as Dusk seems to not be able to play it as well as most people would expect him to do. And it's looking like this is going to be a very comfortable win for South Korea. Motion missing there, but it's not really going to matter at all. Nagy missing at the end is going to seal the deal. South Korea taking a 6th point. And now it's starting to get warm in here.
So South Korea now on match point, and it's their own pick. 2 double S's coming out, one from each side, Crystal and QWHJ. This could be the final map if South Korea can just secure one more point, and they have some maps that they're fairly comfortable on. Let's see what's going to be. Will we now see the Panopticon come out?
Perhaps, yeah.
South Korea did also perform very well on No Mod 5.
This really swaps things up because instead of a 5-4 scoreline, which seems a lot more doable for China, now we are back at 6-3. This final, perhaps final point that South Korea needs. they're going to be able to pick as well. It's going to be really hard for China.
Looks like South Korea are going to go with no mod 3 though. Izana.
Yep.
I believe this will be the last map that we have not yet seen in the Grand Finals pool, obviously apart from the tiebreaker. So good that we get to see a little bit of everything, even if this is the last map.
A little bit of entertainment for us mortals watching this match. Quite an intense song as well, which might be the final map of the match. We shall see. Let's see if China can pull off some miracle here and take the point, or whether South Korea is just going to run away with it.
Yeah, it's a long road to come back for China, but it has to start right now. They need to win 3 points in a row, including 2 break points, in order to force that tiebreaker and keep their world championship dream alive. South Korea just need 1 more point. They've already won the bracket reset. Can they do a second time?
Nagi with an early miss. Rockman and QWH are following up. There's a lot that happens in this map very rapidly. Dust missed as well. Crystal and Motion, the only one left with combo. Little bit of a lead here for China at the moment. Nagi's going to struggle a little bit again.
Yeah, China with a very, very slender advantage so far. Although South Korea do have the combo advantage.
It's very minor, as you can see. More misses here from Motion and QW8, so China can capitalize very nicely on that. Crystal's going to miss too, but still the combo advantage is in their hands. Crystal Alpha struggling there, missing a few times, and the entirety of China drops! As we have Rockma with a combo left in the end of South Korea. QWH getting close to 200 as well, and now it's looking very grim for China. They're going to need a few misses there.
This is not a long map, only 2 minutes in length, so 1 minute to go. China have to just FC the rest of the map and pray, hope, wish for a miss. A lot of misses from South Korea, or this is going to be the end of their hopes in the tournament.
Nagi missing again. This part is actually a bit easier than the first TI in my opinion. The players are doing it really well. South Korea is not giving an inch.
Rockma with the 700 combo closing in now. QWHJ is going to go down though. It's
few misses from him actually. But Crystal's going to miss together with Rockma. More misses are required though, but QWH is not holding on. But 2 misses on the end of China. Probably not going to give him. Oh no, South Korea still leading in combo. Just a little tad bit. But QWH is really struggling towards the end of the map. More misses are required for China to take it. But Dusk is going to miss too. And that's it. You're champions! South Korea taking it 2 years in a row. CWC champion of 2020. With a pretty clutch ending, I have to say. Whew.
Yeah, South Korea become 2-time back-to-back champions. They did it in 2014, 2015, and now again in 2019 and 2020. Big congratulations to them. Commiserations to China going down 7-3 2 times, but they couldn't have lost to a stronger and more worthy opposition in South Korea.
Regardless of the scoreline, the plays dropped by the players in this match from both teams were out of this world. Just complete nonsense to us mortals. Incredible match, however. South Korea taking it 7-3, 7-3 with a bracket reset and everything. The entire shebang. And they'll be the winners for this year. Very well deserved. Congratulations to China for taking second. And obviously, USA shining at 3rd place. Well played to them as well. You're all going to get badges. Oh. Nice.
Yeah, China once again finding it just a little bit too tall of a mountain, too high in order to climb to get past South Korea on a bracket reset. Their quest to overcome their greatest rivals on the grandest stage continues for another year, but they have performed outstandingly well. They looked very, very dominant all the way throughout, and only came undone in the very final stages to worthy champions. Once again, South Korea, 5 times Catch World Cup champions now.
Exactly, and with a setup not a lot of people expected, with R18 and Tsumi joining the team, they still managed to pull it off. And incredibly, they were incredible in doing so as well. I can't stress enough how amazing the players played today and how out of the world their scores were. It's just absolutely fantastic to see, and I'm very happy to see these two countries compete against each other every year. It's amazing. It's such a feast for your eyes. It's absolutely amazing.
It really does never get old to watch these guys totally destroy everything the map pool selectors put in front of them. But unfortunately, there can only be one winner.
It's even scarier when these guys team up in community tournaments, trust me.
Yeah, just don't even sign up if you see these guys on the same team. Or do sign up, but take second place is your first place.
Exactly.
So yeah, congratulations to QWHJ1027, Rockmer, Spectator, Motion, R18 and Sumi for being your 2020 Catch World Cup champions. They will get very, very nice badges and titles. The titles will stay for 1 year. The badges are permanent. If you were a purchaser of a South Korea supporter banner, you get to keep that for a little time to show everyone that you gave your support to the winners. But right now, I believe we're going to be doing a beautiful tiebreaker showcase so that both teams can have one final farewell. And obviously, Catch World Cup can have a little final farewell for another year. So do hang around to see some more insane plays if you're a very fan neutral. You want to see some absolute tearing up of great maps.
Can't wait. Completely forgot to toot for South Korea though.
There we go.
There it is.
Outstanding performance, Sarton. You've earned your paycheck this month.
Yippee! Well, yeah, that was an incredible match. We're gonna hopefully see some incredible play on this tiebreaker. I'm expecting some people to pull out some crazy mobs as well. They tend to do that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into this World Cup. It's been a blast together with the other commentators, blast with the chat. It's been so cool. Every year, it just seems to get better.
It does. And that's why CWC is the best World Cup. Don't at me. You can't deny it.
Everybody says so. We all agree to that fact. Seemingly, we're gonna. What are we gonna do actually?
What are we gonna do after
4v4.
this? After CWC is done? Oh my god, I don't know. I'm gonna go celebrate my birthday, I suppose. But it's only not even 10 AM here yet, so maybe I'll go back to bed. I don't know.
Fair point. Good way to spend your day. Seemingly we're gonna 4v4 this, so we're resetting a few things on the stream and so. No, never mind. We're not. Okay.
I think it's a little bit tricky to get everything changed for that, unfortunately. So we will be going 3v3, but we have everyone is in the lobby from both teams in the background. So.
Yep. Surprisingly, actually, nobody opting for any sort of mod here. They're just gonna hang out. They're just gonna chill.
I like the fact
just
that
regularly play this map, right?
Crystal is taking no fail, despite the fact that he double S'd the tiebreaker from the previous round.
Never be too sure.
But yeah, I guess whilst the calm introduction is playing, we can give a huge thank you to everyone who helped this tournament become the awesome spectacle that it was, from our fellow commentators to the map pool selectors, referees, streamers, our statistician, Nwolf, and of course everyone from the Twitch chat and also all the players as well. The tournament would just simply not happen without you. Everyone who purchased banners and donated subscriptions and bits on Twitch as well. Thank you so, so much. Your contribution is greatly appreciated and it helps keep World Cups and OS just the awesome game that it is.
Couldn't have said it better there. Completely right, so thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts to everybody helping out, watching us, and all such. Purchasing cool banners, subscribing over 100 times like Vexikita, for example. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that guy deserves a little special shout out. He's completely gone to town on the Boss Live Twitch channel this last few weeks.
Yep. Incredibly fast this map again. Seemingly the players aren't too tired yet.
The fact that they've been playing for, well, 3.5 hours now, and they're still going at this pace and they're able to perform at this level of skill, it puts me in awe, but it also makes me feel very kind of sad that I'm very inadequate.
More like 2.5 hours though.
Us mortals will never quite attend to this level.
We shall never be this good. So yeah, all eyes on Spectator for now, I assume. Never mind me, no eyes on Spectator.
We still got
awesome.
it. These guys have the playing skills, we have the cursing skills.
That's how we do.
That's how we roll. You got to find something you're good at and stick with it. And we're good at telling people how well they're doing, and then they miss. So.
And also the biggest of shout-outs to Juan and Walter Toro for hosting the tournament as well. Obviously, I think they also deserve a bit of a special shout-out as hosts. So
yeah, just a little bit. They do some stuff. They're all right.
Yeah. And thank you so much for Trust for streaming pretty much all the matches here, doing all of that background work, allowing us to also do the CWC recaps we introduced. Which we might actually
sorry for
be nice.
Sorry for kind of pushing you into time zones and let's do this. Let's go now. Let's rearrange to this time. Please be up an hour earlier. But yeah, it's been great to recap as well, and hopefully you guys have all enjoyed the commentary that we've brought and the little added features. I know that when you see the OS Live go up, you're like, I just want them to play the match. But hopefully we've added some extra kind of interest and analysis for you that's been enjoyable. It's been really good fun for us too, so maybe you'll see that and some World Cups going forward.
Yeah, that would be cool indeed. We've had some people requesting it, so we shall request it to the other commentators as well. We obviously don't really have control over that, but we will try our best.
We can write them a strongly worded letter.
Now, would you do this, please?
It is in the best interests of OS Live and all of the glorious Osu community.
Incredible combos here from Motion, for example. 1400.
Expecting nothing less from that man.
Yep. We are gonna have one more drop. Really feeling 200 step. That's the climax of this tournament.
Oh, I know some people we haven't thanked. Mr. Puffbuck, once again, 100%ing a tournament from the World Cup stream. I think this is like his 7th World Cup now, where he's been every single minute of every single stream, contributing his moderation, his assistance, and his beautiful smile. Thank you so much for all your help.
Such an incredible feat indeed.
And all of our other super fans, like Eagle MD, F fan as well.
So many wonderful people, but thank you to everybody, obviously, for checking it out. Whether you checked it out only once, whether you were here for the entire ride, we appreciate every single one of you people.
Yeah, so if you're a huge fan of Catch and you've been following us since the kind of birth of tournaments, or if you're tuning into your first ever CWC and you're like, I don't know anything about Catch, but these guys are pretty good, we hope you've enjoyed and that you either watch us again in the future or you try getting into the mode yourself, because it'll be wonderful to have you around to grow the mode and chat to you more in the future. So yeah, hope you have enjoyed. But we're coming to a conclusion here, coming into the final
is so
outro.
Close, even here, as in the showcase match. Even now, they are only differing like 10,000 points ish. The thought of these two countries is amazing.
Is anyone going to petition for another bracket reset? Can we just watch these guys go again?
You don't need sleep.
We don't need sleep, and I think they've all earned some rest. So
That is correct.
It will be China taking the consolation prize, winning the showcase tiebreaker, but it will be South Korea, your 2020 Oscatch World Cup champions once again. So congratulations to them, but well played to both teams and obviously all the other teams and players that helped participate in the tournament to get us to this stage.
Exactly. Thank you for playing. Thank you for entertaining us. You guys are all amazing. This community is amazing, and that goes to show in these kind of amazing moments. But now, CWC is also gonna exit the Earth's atmosphere. We are also gonna take our leave. Everything, how nice it might be, must come to an end. And that is exactly what we're doing. But we will be back with more content than you will ever need. So do follow the channel, because you'll get an email notification whenever we are live with anything, any content, any World Cup, anything. And you don't want to miss out on anything, because we have some incredible stuff to show you guys. You can also subscribe if you're feeling generous. And the banners, I mean, doesn't really make a lot of sense. You could probably still buy a banner, as far as I know.
I believe they've been taken down, actually.
Never mind.
Thank you for everyone who did purchase one.
Indeed. I hope you enjoyed your banner. And everybody having the South Korean banner, you can still enjoy it for the coming times as well. So do as you may.
So yeah, to wrap up, there is your podium place. South Korea, the victors. China, the second place team, and the US, who we saw yesterday, securing that third place once again. So congratulations to them. But I think from us, Sartan and myself, JB Hyperion, and obviously everyone here at the OS Live tournament team, that is going to be it for just a little while. We'll be returning with more World Cups in the near future, so do stay tuned, as Sartan said. Anything else you want to say to close up, Sartan?
I think all that needs to be said has been said. I wish all of you an amazing day, and I hope you enjoyed this tournament as much as we did. We'll be back with more tournaments and a new CWC in 2021. There's much more to be seen. There's much more to be heard from these teams, and we're gonna enjoy. But for now, we're gonna rest a little bit, get back to a normal non-tournament routine. How sad that might be.
5 a.m.
Actually being able to celebrate your birthday. Woo! Woo! Amazing. Righty. That's it, guys. Thank you so incredibly much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your time. That's it for us. JBH, thank you so much for commentating this match with me. It's been good fun.
No problem, no problem. So yes, from Sartan and I, it's goodbye. From everyone on the tournament team, it's goodbye. We'll see you next time. And remember that rhythm is just a click away.
And that's how it is. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
can feel the evolution. Oh, my time no longer frozen. So maybe all the I don't know